What's the sweetest gesture anyone has ever shown you? I was 16 when my boy best friend was found dangling from the ceiling, completely unalived. And that's how I spent my New Year's Eve crying at Nick's funeral, wearing a black dress with the tag still on. His mom cornered me right after the service while everyone else was filing out to their cars. She grabbed my shoulders and her nails dug into my skin. You were his best friend. You should have known. How could you not have known? Her tone was angry, but her wrinkled brown eyes were filled with suffering. And in that moment, I was grateful that his family hated me. Grateful that I could provide them with anger to distract them from how big the pain was. But it made me blame myself more, and for years I was convinced that I was a murderer, no better than Jeffrey Dahmer. Meanwhile, our class went into attention-seeking overdrive. Clara, a girl he always bitched about, started a memorial Instagram page that hit 5,000 followers in 2 days. Max, his childhood bully, organized weekly meetups at the diner where we used to hang out. Megan made matching bracelets with his initials that everyone wore and posted about constantly. They tagged me in everything, and I always commented with dove emojis, because if I didn't, they'd bitch about me for being a fake friend. Deep down, I knew it was wrong, but I didn't care, because the grief was so overwhelming that I couldn't even think about anything else for longer than 5 minutes. At the gatherings, they'd post these long captions about missing him so much, but the second I tried to grieve offline, they'd shame me. I remember his 1-month anniversary. I wore the jumper that still faintly smelled like him, and when my order came, I was bawling my eyes out. Max just rolled his eyes. Megan patted my back and aggressively told me that it was time to move on. So I went to the bathroom and proceeded to spend 20 minutes curled up into a ball on the floor. The second I came back, the table went silent. I knew they had all been bitching about me dragging the mood down. After that, I started making excuses. Homework, family stuff, pet minding, anything to avoid the gatherings, and in isolation, the guilt was eating me alive. Anytime I smiled or even enjoyed anything, I hated myself, because he would never get to experience joy again, all because of me. And just as I was about to apologize to the group for being a Debbie Downer, I got a text. It was Marcus, one of Nick's coworkers. We hadn't talked since the funeral. He texted saying he noticed I hadn't been around much and wanted to check in. I hadn't received a text like that since the day I found out he was dead. I immediately broke down and told him everything. The forced optimism, the isolation, the guilt, the suicidal thoughts. Turns out he'd been feeling the same way, and my friend group had blocked him for not posting enough. I breathed a sigh of relief when he told me that. We started texting every day. It was like he was the only one that got me. Fast forward to 6 months later. The group were planning this huge trip for the anniversary of his death. Clara made a whole itinerary with photo locations and matching outfits. The two things that Nick hated most in this world, LOL. When I said I wanted to spend the day alone, Max actually laughed. That's so selfish. This is about honoring him together. But for the first time, I didn't listen. Marcus and I decided to visit Nick's grave privately instead. While we were there, I noticed fresh flowers and candles that I'd never seen before. The groundskeeper told me Nick's older brother had been coming weekly, but always alone. He mentioned the brother had left something in the memorial box they keep for families. Inside was a USB drive labeled, "Read this." Well, I already had my laptop in my bag, so I put it in straight away. What I saw made my stomach churn. It was Nick's blog. 2 years of entries, and every single one was about our friend group. How they made fun of his music taste. How they excluded him from plans, then posted about missing him when he wasn't there. How they only invited him when they needed rides or someone to pay. Entry after entry of feeling invisible in his own friend group. The anniversary memorial was packed. Clara had promoted it like an event, and half the school showed up. Megan was live streaming. Max was selling these memorial hoodies he designed. I walked up to the microphone with my phone in my hand. I read every entry that mentioned them by name. I didn't realize it at the time, but that one decision ruined my life. Full story on channel, link below.